Okay, I've got a question. What does a forgotten anniversary, a missing bird, and a new job offer have in common?
Well, somehow, believe it or not, they are all key plot points in a brand new movie out on Hallmark from 2025's Countdown to Christmas, Three Wisest Men. And we've got a lot to talk about, Jennifer.
We do, Josh, and we'll unwrap it all on this episode of Do You Watch What I Watch?
Sit down and watch, then have a talk with Jennifer and Josh.
Well, as anticipation goes for a Countdown to Christmas movie, this one was pretty darn high because this is the third in this trilogy starring these three Hallmark Hall stars. You've got Andrew Walker, Tyler Hynes, Paul Campbell. Kimberly Sustad is back with a cameo in this one. We love all of these guys. Needless to say, I was pretty excited about this one, Jennifer.
Me too. We've talked about and watched and recapped the first two movies. So if you've missed our chats about those, I'll link them somewhere here. I think I'll link them around there. Just look on the screen, and we'll also put it in the show notes on our YouTube so you can easily click and hear what we had to say about that. But yeah, it was great to see the gang back together again. And, Josh, I don't know if you know this, I have met all three of the Brenner brothers, plus Kimberly Sustad, my queen and yours.
As we know, yes.
How jealous are you that I met Kimberly Sustad?
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. She's definitely on my Mount Rushmore. I'm so glad you had that moment. Of course, Jennifer's referring to getting to meet all of these Hallmark stars when they came to kick off Countdown to Christmas at a couple of Hallmark stars here in Nashville, which was, I think, really a remarkably cool thing for them to do and pick Nashville to do it. I thought that was awesome.
Well, and they picked it because they knew that I was on set as an extra for the Grand Ole Opry Christmas.
But of course, we got to go see Jennifer and her people.
The 100th anniversary of the Grand Ole Opry, and long-lived country music and music in general institution in town. Plus, I was in the audience, Yeah, I mean, the movie's coming out soon. Do I, not to distract from the Brenner brothers, but just a little side quest, do we roll out the red carpet for a premiere, a viewing?
I feel like we might have to. Yeah. Go ahead and get your media credentials in.
Yeah,
this is true.
That's tough. I mean, I'm available, but only for so much longer. And then once my big appearance is sure to happen, I'm going to be booked and busy.
Booked and busy. And so if you're interested in joining me as co-host here on Do You Watch What I Watch, please send an email to doyouwatchwhatIwatch@gmail.com. Subject line, replacing Jennifer.
Wait. This isn't how I wanted this to go. Undo.
She's big for her britches, everybody.
Bless. All right, well, let's get back to the movie at hand. Here's that summary from IMDb. 3 siblings deal with personal changes and their mother's decision to sell the family home before Christmas. Between in-laws, wild animals, and a mall Santa, they try to make the holidays perfect. Let's go. Okay, the third movie in the series opens like the first two with Luke, who's Andrew Walker. He's pep talking himself up in the bathroom mirror. Luke's wife is very pregnant, comically pregnant. Picture basketball under overalls, costuming pregnant. And she's pregnant with twins. Life's about to get very busy, so Luke has plans to get things organized and under control. Because if there's anything that parents know, it's how to get ahead of things before the child is born, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how that works. Yeah.
That's exactly how it works.
He's never had a fresh newborn. He came into Thomas's life in the first movie when Thomas was left by said now wife on the doorstep of the fire hall that Luke worked in. But hey, let's have some more kids. Let's get back in there.
Go for it.
Let's go for it. So we see a frustrated Luke and an even more frustrated Thomas, the little boy who's maybe like 7-ish now, 6 or 7, if I had to guess, who's precious. But you know what? Not so precious in this moment. He's feeling ignored and jealous of these new babies, and everybody's acting out of sorts. And he ends up chucking a toy at Luke's head in the kitchen of their home. And Luke kind of loses his cool for a minute. He's not too cool hand Luke in this moment. Thomas is going to go stay with Grandma today because Roy is out of town. Now, I will tell you all, dear listener, I watched this movie the first time. I didn't finish it. I watched it and I fell asleep, but I didn't realize I fell asleep until the end. I was like, oh, I just missed a few minutes. No, I'm glad I went back to take notes and like really get into it the second time because I fell asleep for a lot.
Mm.
Which might explain why I was worried I didn't like it the first time I watched it but this is related to I missed this line that Roy was out of town the first time I watched it. Later, there's a moment I thought Roy had died.
I did too. It was the same thing for me. I missed that line somehow.
It's so small.
I didn't fall asleep. It's a small line, but it's kind of a big detail with some big implications for the rest of the story. I was a little confused later on, so I'm glad I wasn't the only
Okay,
one.
good. I don't feel so bad then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Roy's alive and well. He's just out of town. Praise
Thank God.
report for Pastor Roy from the last movie. We loved him. Love that for him. Okay, so we catch up with Stefan, who's played by Paul Campbell, and his fiance. They're trying to make literally any wedding planning decision, like napkins, chairs, literally anything. It's been 6 months. They have made nary a decision. Not because she's a bridezilla, but Stefan is spinning his wheels a little bit on this wedding planning car carriage something or another. Insert some kind of something here. All right, so we get a peek at Stefan's book covers in the background. So he's written Prime Mates for Life. He's written This Time for Humans. And the latest on the bookshelf behind them is Get Out of Your Own Way. And that's just what he's going to do. But did you notice, this part made me LOL, the Get Out of Your Own Way cover is like a cartoony artist version of Paul Campbell, plus a train in the background with Paul Campbell's face on the front, a
Yep.
la Thomas the Train. You know, like on Thomas the Train, they would put the face, like make the faces of the trains, like to personify them. So funny. It was
Small
so
detail,
funny.
but so funny. Yeah, I love
These
that.
little moments are why I love these movies because you could easily blink and miss it or fall asleep and miss it, but don't, guys. And also, P.S. I didn't fall asleep because it was boring. I fell asleep just because I was very sleepy, Jennifer. Unrelated.
It's
Okay.
that time of year. Unrelated. Yeah.
It's that time of year. Yes. Okay. So Stefan vows to get out of his own way. He's going to start making wedding choices at a rapid pace. And him and his fiance, they have this cute banter back and forth. They're checking stuff off the list. And then they look up and there's a massive water leak in their house. What are they going to do? They're going to go stay with Stefan's mom in the Brenner household. Okay. We catch up with Tyler Hynes, and he's interviewing at a California gaming company, which is a major upgrade from when we met him in the first movie, because remember, he was like carrying a sign to put up behind him in like a local coffee shop to make it look like he was really important on Zoom calls. So he's coming a long way. He's being asked, to come to these big Silicon Valley companies and do gaming tech something or another. And the only problem is he would have to move to California for this gig, and he's torn as to how that might impact his relationship and his life. He's still with the girl he was with in movie 2, and I don't remember her name, but we're going to call her Girlfriend. And we liked Girlfriend. She was the piano player at the Thomas's Christmas program last year. So glad they're still together, but can they make long distance work? We don't know, guys. We don't know. The company, like, main guy, Noah, is very hippy-dippy, and he talks about synergy and eco smoothies, and he can have a cold plunge in your office, and just think about it, right? Have you ever cold plunged, by the way?
Yes. Yeah.
You
I
have one,
actually
don't you?
own
I
own a cold plunge. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you drink eco smoothies while you do it?
No, I don't. And in fact, it's been a few weeks since I've been in the cold plunge now that it's actually cold outside. I prefer more of like a tepid plunge. I'm not one of these yet who's like, give me a 32-degree ice cubey cold plunge. I'm getting there. I'm kind of trying to I'm dipping my toe into the cold plunging space, as it were.
Well, don't let your toe get frostbitten. What is it's
Of
supposed to have
course.
health benefits, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
the gist.
I think it's a mental thing. It's supposed to sort of give you mental clarity. It's supposed to be the I can do tough things and I'm in control here. I think it also is supposed to help with inflammation and your immune
Okay.
system and all those other things. Who knows? Maybe it's a bunch of hooey. We'll see. But it's very trendy, and I'm usually one for a trend if I could see myself in it. So there you go.
No, I went to the Kitchen and Bath show in Las Vegas this past February with friend of the pod, Mary, that was a guest on a couple months ago on an episode, and they were really pushing the cold plunges for personal home use. So, also, what are you drinking? Hold on, time out. Canada Dry Cranberry?
No,
No,
no, no. Canada Dry, Fruit Splash, Cherry Ginger Ale.
not
Zero
sponsored,
sugar.
but that looks delightful too.
It's delightful. It is absolutely delightful. Not sponsored by Canada Dry, but we will at Canada Dry. If you'd like to, show us some love, we're here for you because I love this product. Do
And
endorse,
I stand the Canada Dry Cranberry Ginger Ale every season. I'd get a
especially this time
tattoo
of
of it
year.
if you want me to. Yeah, slide. Our DMs are open. I got like a
We're
lower back
unafraid.
tat of Canada Dry Ginger.
The tramp stamp of Canada Dry Ginger Ale.
Not above it. I'm not above it. I love that stuff, man.
You
Inject
heard
it
it
in
here
my
first.
veins. Inject it in my veins. Okay, back on track. Sorry for the side quest, but here we are. So Taylor's got some decisions to make. He turns around and Fiona is there. Fiona is his ex-girlfriend from the first movie, played by Allie Liebert. Now, I'm never not happy to see Allie Liebert. So
Mhm.
she's a vision. She's walking in and she's like, hey, turns out she put in a good word for him to maybe work at this company because she works there now too. She
Yes.
encourages him to take the job and apologizes for how they ended things, and she grabs his hand, and it is a little electric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Luke and his wife go to a birthing class led by a postpartum mom who had no business leading this class for parents who are about to have multiple children in their house. She was not ready. She's very angry. She's very sleep deprived and let's just say not very encouraging. And Luke gets rightfully terrified. Reality is really starting to set in that their lives are about to be flipped upside down. So, Stefan's fiance, her dad, he serial calls her just on the regular basis until she answers. And Stefan thinks he doesn't like him very much because he's basically told him as much. I don't like your boyfriend very much or your fiance very much. So, they're moving in with the boy's mom until their house gets repaired. Fiance's dad keeps calling. More to come.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor is greeted at the airport by his girlfriend, and she has a loving sign that she's holding up, and it says, "Welcome home, dummy." And this is why I liked her. I think she's very dry. She's
Mm-hmm.
very sarcastic. There's love there, but that's just a different love language. Her love language is definitely sarcasm.
Oh yeah.
And he tells her Noah wants to make him partner, but he neglects to tell her that it would require him moving to California. Didn't
Misstep.
come up. Didn't come up, I guess, in that moment.
Ugh. Mm.
Okay, so at this point, all the Brenner brothers, they're all at mom's house finally. And there's classic Brenner brother banter, say that 3 times fast. And there's arguing over a gingerbread house tradition, and Thomas really wants to do it. And then Thomas ends up throwing something else at Luke. And this time it's a wadded up, like, ad, I guess, pamphlet thing for um real estate, and turns out mom is putting their childhood home on the market.
Ugh.
Ooh, and this is how they all find out. She's ready to downsize. They're all moving on, moving out finally, except Taylor, who still lives in the basement, I guess. And it's just kind of it's time, right? She's scared to tell them, but actually the boys handle it better than expected. All
Yeah.
truth be told. No one faints or cries. And it's the last family Christmas in this house, assuming she'll sell it. I mean, in this market, who knows, but okay. And they agree, hey, we're going to make this the best Christmas ever. Stefan's fiance walks in with her dad, who is going to spend Christmas with them. His name's Bob.
Surprise! Here comes Bob.
Surprise! Bob is talking to Luke, and it's like, hey, yeah, I remember your fiance. You look like you've been working out. Nope, that's not Stefan.
Wrong
That's
one.
Luke, sir. Okay, whoopsie. Lucky for everyone, Bob brought his bird, Jerry. And he's had Jerry for 30 years, which is a really long time for a bird. And even some people. I mean, my gosh.
Right?
And Jerry, the bird, calls Stefan a loser. And Jerry and Bob need to get to know Stefan more, so that's why he's here. Mom insists, hey, Bob, stay in our guest house. What's one more person, right? Bob makes some passive-aggressive comments and talks about his history in the military. That's where he rescued Jerry, but really, they rescued each other. Okay,
Truth be told. Yeah.
break. What are you thinking at this point in the movie? We've established and reestablished new characters, old characters, home for the
Yes.
holidays, under one
We've caught
roof,
up.
or at least
Yes.
one property, maybe nearby roofs of guest houses and things. Oh, what are you thinking?
It's sort of like putting on a familiar pair of socks, you know? It's
Mm.
like, I don't know about you, but I've got Christmas socks. And when you pull them out at this time of year, you put them on and you're like, ah, yes. And that's what I felt with the first 15, 20 minutes of this. It's like, ah, yes, I like these characters. I like the way these movies are written. I like the way that they're developing the plot here. I like this twist of it's their last Christmas in the house. I like this kind of wrinkle with this stodgy military father-in-law character who could not be more opposite than Stefan. So I think that there's just some good plot happening here. What about you?
I'm here for it. I'm always happy to be hanging out with the Brenner family.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. But I am glad we've gotten past all the reintroductions. Let's get down to like the meat and potatoes of the movie. Let's move forward here.
Yes. Yeah.
So Taylor finally decides he's going to tell his girlfriend that they want him to move to San Francisco. And she handles it, surprisingly well. And she's like, well, we have been talking about moving in together. Maybe this is the next logical step. At family dinner, we get a lovely product placement for King's Hawaiian Rolls. Now, there have been a lot of really bad product placements on Hallmark movies. We've talked
There
about
have
Ace
been.
Hardware. We've seen Daisy's Sour
Folgers.
Cream. Folgers. Who could forget Lacey
Mhm.
Chabert and that gigantor can of Folgers, her and Brendan Elliott with the spotlight on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, I do love some King's Hawaiian Rolls.
Not gonna lie. You know what we do with King's Hawaiian Rolls? Not sponsored by King's Hawaiian Rolls, although we'll add them in this little
But
portion.
willing to
And they
be.
can,
Yeah.
if you take a pack of King's Hawaiian Rolls and you slice the whole pack, then you put a little ham, you put you a little bit of Swiss cheese, you put the lid back on, you put the tops back on, and then you pour a little butter, a little Worcestershire, a little garlic mix over the top. You bake it, you get yourself some lovely ham sliders.
I could go for
Recipe in
one
the
right now.
comments.
If I had one of those in one hand and a can of Canada Dry in the other, boy, I'd be living right. Merry Christmas to you all.
That's the kind of product placement we'd like to have on the podcast.
It really did make me hungry for King's Hawaiian Rolls. This was a product placement well done. But it's
It really
funny
was.
because they start, and Paul Campbell's character is like, oh, yeah, almost grabs one and she smacks his hand away because we need to give rolls to our guest first. And by the time the
Mhm.
basket gets around all these Brenner family members, Stefan doesn't get a roll. Sad day for Stefan.
Bummer.
The next day, Stefan, his fiance, and Bob are going shopping at the mall. Before they leave the guest house, Stefan is talking to Jerry, and Jerry calls Stefan a loser again. Stefan retaliates, and Jerry falls over. Jerry the bird, remember, falls over in the cage, seemingly dead. And then we get some very, very funny comical timing from Paul Campbell trying to revive this bird because he is panicked. A, you don't want a bird dying on your watch. B, it's the holidays.
No.
C, it's your fiance's dad's bird who he's had longer than, you've had most pairs of shoes or anything else in your house. And he already doesn't like you. What are we going to do? And he opens the cage to try to revive the bird. He goes and yells out the window for Bob to come back to help. And the bird, Jerry, he was playing possum. And he
Yeah, he was.
flies out of the window.
This was hilarious.
Yeah.
This was hilarious. I was thinking the only thing that would have made this funnier is if Paul Campbell tried to do like bird CPR a little bit. That would have made it a little funnier for me. But still, gosh, I laughed out loud watching this part.
I like to believe there's an outtake somewhere of him doing bird CPR.
Oh,
and
there has to be.
And like, do they run this by PETA? Like, is PETA going to
I
be
know.
upset?
No animals were harmed in the production of this movie. Yeah.
Now, I will say there is going to be an extended cut of this movie dropping on Hallmark Plus like the next day. So maybe, fingers crossed, we get more bird content. I'm willing to watch the extended cuts just to
Just to
see.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If listeners, if you get to it before I do, let us know in the comments what are the differences in the extended cuts. If you have timestamps, that'd be great. Let me know if it's
And
worth.
if you're a
You can let us know
veterinarian,
if it's worth the watch.
yes, please. And if you're a veterinarian, let us know if there's such a thing as bird CPR. I'm curious to know.
Oh, I think so. Just a little whiff, you know.
Just a little.
And you do it. You do it to the beat of "Staying Alive," right? Staying alive. Yeah. This is not medical advice. Do not consider this medical advice. This is not medical advice. Don't sue us. Okay. All right. So Stefan's freaking out, rightly so. Taylor's girlfriend has done research. She's very excited about them moving to San Francisco together, even though Taylor's technically not asked her. He hasn't even said he's taking the job for sure. But Taylor, in true Taylor fashion, kind of just him hauls around and chews on his candy cane and doesn't really like spit out all the details, which is frustrating to me as a character. Come on. She could not be more supportive, and he's being just like kind of a closed off, scared loser, is what I wrote down. And then she gets confused because does he not want to be with her? Does he not want the job? He speaks like caveman talk at this point in the conversation. It's not going well, and it's at her restaurant that she works at. And she's like, I gotta get back to work. We go back to the mall. Taylor and Stefan are there, standing in line with Thomas to see Santa because Luke's wife, Thomas's mom, very pregnant, having trouble breathing and standing for a long time, is parked on a mall bench, right, with their mom. And they're waiting in line. Stefan's trying to talk to Taylor and convince Taylor to go and find this bird, and Taylor's not having it. He's got his own stuff to deal with. And then an elf sachets up at Santa's little photo stand and says, no, we're not going to see your kid, well, Thomas, their nephew, because Santa needs a break. And they're like, right now? Santa needs a break right now? Stefan gives Elf the business and pushes Thomas to go up there and talk to Santa. This elf is neither holly nor jolly. More to come later. Luke's wife then has Braxton Hicks contractions, which she acts like she's never heard of, even though she's already birthed the baby before in her life, and she's put on bed rest. So what do you know? Mom insists that they stay at her house too. I love it. Bob gets home from shopping and realizes Jerry's gone, and he's freaking out. He ends up putting up posters around town, like on telephone poles, for this lost bird. It's a big deal. And Stefan just doesn't really own up that he was part of the mishap that led to the bird flying away. Oopsie doodle for sure. Thomas is ready to go sledding because Luke told me, Dad told me we could go sledding, and no one can go with him right now, and he is losing his patience. Bob, I said that already. He's putting up the lost parrot signs. Luke is doing breathing exercises at work at the fire hall to try to calm down and get his stress under control. And then somehow he ends up getting to watch or having to watch his coworkers' 3 kids, or they're his nephews, or somehow related to this coworker. And the kids run amok in the fire hall, and Luke's really like, oh snap, I can't have 3 kids. Now keep in mind, these kids are all like basically the same age. They're like 10-year-olds running around.
Yeah.
It's a little different when you got like a 7-year-old and newborns. Not easier, just different. They're not as mobile yet, but they are messier. So, your mileage may vary there. Then Luke has a missed call from the number Eric's dad, neighbor, which I did think was funny because I do find myself, if I connect with somebody at school and I get their number, I'm like, this is so-and-so's mom, this is so-and-so's dad.
You have to.
Because I certainly don't know their last name, and I'm sure I've been told their first name, but I don't remember it. So
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Okay. We get more King's Hawaiian rolls unloaded at this dinner. Won't see me complaining about it. Luke comes in disheveled. I mean, like markings and stickers and things everywhere from the kids he was watching. And also, he's angry with Thomas because Thomas pushed a kid at the park. Thomas is wilding out. Okay. Thomas is like turning into super Grinch. Who is this kid? He's now a bully. It's very unlike him. Thomas has big feelings. and their mom insists they are going to bake some cookies. The Brenner brothers get into some Three Stooges physical comedy bits with each other at this point in time, which is really what I'm here for. Mom talks some sense into all of them with a dash of tough love. They're going to check cookies off the list, even if they don't do anything else tonight. So bake the cookies. Luke
Now,
apologizes to Thomas for overreacting today. I mean, he did push a kid, so I don't know that you totally overreacted. I think we need to rein it
mm-hmm,
in. And also, we probably need
mm-hmm.
to show Thomas some like good episodes of Daniel Tiger, because Daniel Tiger always has a good song that's
Yes.
applicable for any age about how to handle your feelings and regulate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know he was
When
jealous
you
when
feel
baby
so
Margaret came into the
mad,
picture.
yeah, when you feel so mad that you want to roar, take a deep breath and count to 4.
That's right. I know it well.
I do too. Yeah.
Thomas is sad because he thinks everyone's forgotten him. Of course, that's not true. All the boys decide the Brenner brothers are going to play hooky tomorrow, and they're going to check stuff off the list with Thomas, which is a really sweet idea. They dress up like knights and do medieval Christmas, which was something that one of the brothers, I think Taylor, was petitioning for in one of the other movies. So they're fighting with swords, and there's wrapping paper decor and all these, slow motion fight scenes. And then the guys are going to go get a pre-cut tree. They are going to lie to Stefan's future father-in-law, though, and say that they cut it down themselves, that Stefan did because he's a manly man. Okay. But first, they go by Taylor's girlfriend's restaurant, and they use Thomas as a ploy to get her to forgive Taylor. And it's a cute little scene. And
Mm-hmm.
then Stefan gains Bob's respect when they get back with the tree. It's all well and good until they are decorating it. Jerry comes back, the bird, in some sort of Christmas miracle. But then Jerry lets out that Stefan is the one that let him out of the cage. And everybody hears it because this talking bird doesn't understand that snitches get stitches. There's then a rodent in the tree, and chaos ensues a la Christmas Vacation. But it's a guinea pig because the place they ended up getting the tree from was like, I don't remember the name. It was funny, but it's basically this place behind the mall, and the guy
Yeah.
sells like small animal pets and trees. I guess one of the guinea pigs got loose and burrowed in the tree. It's chaos, and it results in Allie Liebert walking in the door, Taylor's ex-girlfriend. They're all stunned.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor passes out. Bob steps on something, but he thinks it's because the rodent bit him, and they're all off to the ER, where we see none other than Kimberly Sested as a doctor arriving to help. It is confusing to me because we just talked about Kimberly Sested as Dr. Hope in Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper.
I was like, wait, are we in Lackawanna? Are we back in Lackawanna, New York?
Where is this taking place? Yeah. She definitely they saved on the costume budge this year with her. She's like, I already got the doctor's coat, y'all. I'm good.
Yep. Fits.
Turns out Bob was not bitten, does not need a rabies shot. He just stepped on an ornament in all the chaos, and Taylor's just fine. It's all good. But Taylor's girlfriend finds out about the ex, and she gets a little mad, rightly so, and leaves. Mom gives some words of wisdom to them, and they all have a family hug. Okay, so we're back at home. The boys are there with the mom. They unload a ton of bags from Home Goods. That's
Home
right, dear
Goods.
listener, Home Goods. Shopping's a
Now
pleasure
our-
at Home Goods.
Now our third product placement, if you're keeping tabs on this one.
And I love a Home Goods. I went on a date night with my husband a couple weeks ago to Home Goods. It was November 1st. We went and we strolled and bought a few things. We needed a new tree topper because ours didn't light up anymore, so I got a tree topper at Home Goods. I support Home Goods. If Home Goods wants to be a sponsor, Home Goods, we love it. But why did they have to go to Home Goods to get decorations? This is the childhood home. Does the mom not have boxes and boxes of antiques and heirlooms and traditional things that you're unloading year after year?
We've seen decor in this house before. This is the third one of these. We know they know how to decorate for Christmas. In fact, that was very much central to the very first one of these, was decorating for Christmas with the competition with Mark LeClark across the street, right?
Yeah. It's not like the basement flooded or something and oh shoot. There's decorations in the guest house in the background when Stefan was trying to revive the bird, like Mary or Joseph were like sideways in the background. So why? I don't understand.
Because, Jennifer, this movie was brought to you by Home Goods. And we wish this podcast would be brought to you by Home Goods as well. So we love a Home Goods.
So much so that the mom was like talking and hanging up her new decorations and cutting off the Home Goods price tags as she placed it so carefully on her wall. It just didn't make sense from the story standpoint. This is not a new house. This is not,
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I mean, I know that Hallmark has a deal going on with Home Goods. I've seen other, actors doing promotional content. Not mad about the partnership, just thought it was a little weird story-wise, but, here we are. The boys lift up Taylor so he can put the star on top of the tree, and Mom is just gleaming because here's all her babies in one place, and she tears up or chokes up a little bit in the chair, and the boys surround her, and she just wishes that Roy was here. This is why I thought Roy was dead.
Exactly. I was like, oh, Roy died since the last one of these and is no
Yeah.
longer with us. Yeah, I thought the same.
I think Roy just had a scheduling conflict.
I think that's
But the
exactly what
actor
it was. Roy was
Roy
off
was
doing
like,
some
I
other
got
movie.
I'm booked and busy on another movie. I don't have time for this.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm glad you thought that too because I thought I was a big dum dum. No, I'm glad Roy's alive. Thought the scene was weird. Next morning, Mom breaks out a tracksuit and a clipboard, and she's gonna check some stuff off this list to make it the best Christmas ever. Which, if you haven't paid attention, we're not getting very far with the best Christmas ever. Bob, the father-in-law, is leaving, and he's going to go check into a hotel because this is all just a little much. Allie Liebert talks to Taylor and decides, hey, I do think you should take the job. I'm not going to just pop in on you. I respect your relationship. All good. Luke's wife gives Luke an anniversary gift, and oops, Luke forgot his anniversary, which the
Whoops.
birthing angry lady had alluded to in the front of the movie. When you have babies, you forget your anniversary, you forget your name, da 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 da. And then she was like, my husband just sits on a bucket in the garage and drinks. So then it cuts to Luke sitting on an upside down bucket in the garage drinking a beer, which was a funny callback, like a small connection there. But the other brothers come find him. They're going to have a heart-to-heart. They're going to fix all their problems, and they still need to know what Thomas wants for Christmas. Yeah, guys, it's like December 23rd or something at this point. Thomas is, maybe rightfully so, feeling ignored.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only person who knows what Thomas wants for Christmas? The mall Santa. So back
That's
they
exactly
go.
right.
And the same elf freaks out on them again, and it's revealed he takes his little beard off. He is the drama teacher from last year when the Brenner brothers accidentally but did wreak havoc and busted up all the set decor and all of his, led to his, failed Broadway dream meltdown of the movie last year. So now he has, ended up just being the mall elf for Santa. It's not where he wants to be. And now these Brenner brothers are at it again. Blah, 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 blah. And they try to steal his list. There's some physical comedy bits and some back and forth. And oops, they knock down the whole Santa display in the mall.
Which looked to be very flimsy to begin with. Lots of styrofoam pieces. I don't know about your mall, but our mall is very much this established ski chalet kind of setting for Santa and all of this, not these sort of very flimsy styrofoam candy canes that just sort of domino, that sort of.
Back in my day, it was a chair, like a nice green velvet chair that Santa
Right.
sat in, and we were happy to have it and get a Polaroid. But now it is like a whole chalet, like you're saying. They basically could reconstruct the North Pole inside the mall because they want to charge you an exorbitant amount of money to get one
So
picture
much.
texted to you. And if you
So
want it printed,
much.
no, you don't. You don't
No,
want
you
it printed.
don't.
And you don't get wallets anymore.
And you don't want the keychain or the button or the this or the that. Yeah.
Because it's that or sending them to college. You got to pick. Tough decisions.
One or the other.
That's what
I
Luke
know.
needs to be learning. These are the tough decisions parents have to make, okay? So they figure it out that he wants the Mighty Mech, which of course is the most popular toy in all the land. It immediately sells out everywhere. Security escorts the brothers out of the back of the mall, and who rolls up but Mark Leclerc, the obnoxious across the street neighbor, who I was actually happy to see in this moment because I love a cameo, and I was afraid we weren't going to see him. He has intel of how they can get the toy. Because he wants one too. So he's got feelers out. He knows when the shipments are going to hit all these stores. They end up disguising themselves, and they dress up in holiday Christmas suits, the boys do, and they slow motion walk through the mall with glasses on because that's a thirst trap clip that everybody wants to share on Instagram. We know, we see you guys. We know what you do. We know you like it. Mark Leclerc is dressed up like a gingerbread man just to fit in. I thought that was funny.
Might as well. Might as well.
There's then a scene of Luke fighting to get the last Mighty Mech at the toy store, and he's fighting a, presumably single mom for it. Didn't love that. And they're wrestling in a ball pit. And then it ends up being 3 Brenner brothers versus 1 single mom. And Luke gets the toy until he doesn't. So security escorts them out, and he does not get the toy in the end. Taylor is on the phone trying to apologize to his girlfriend and make amends with her, and they get thrown in jail. The Brenner brothers are in the big house. We get another scene. I guess Mom bailed him out, so Mom has to come to Jesus with them back home, and they're going to have a nice, normal dinner with Bob. No more shenanigans. None of this playing around anymore. You're grown men. And Stefan's fiance puts a pick in, Puts a pick in wedding... pin. She's going to put a pin in wedding planning because this is all too much right now. And we just need to put pause on the wedding planning. So Stefan's sad about that. Luke's still sad because he forgot his, wife's anniversary. That's not great. He still doesn't have the toy for Thomas. And they're eating. I didn't see King's Hawaiian rolls at this meal, but there should have been. Stefan says, hey, Bob, you win. The wedding's, it's put on pause. So good for you. Bob says, that's probably best. Mom snaps and goes into mama mode and lays down the law with Bob and says these boys love each other and they love who they are with. And yes, our life is chaotic, but I want their love protected and do not fight this relationship. Do not get in the way. And I loved this scene. I thought she was such a rock star in this moment. And she was so, still respectful, but also, like, you just believed that one wrong move, and she was going to put a King's Hawaiian roll where the sun don't shine. You know what I'm saying?
She had her boys back,
so
and I think I think that really resonated with a lot of the core viewership of this movie, You want the best for your kids, and you're still going to stand up for them if you have to.
Yeah. Luke's wife goes into labor because, of course, she does, and they all take off running to the hospital because the movie's almost over, so we got to have another big moment. Bob walks into the hospital, and he brings cookies as a peace offering. He apologizes for being unfair. Luke walks out in the lobby with holding 2 babies wrapped in pink as twin girls. Because I don't know about you, when you have a baby, you do certainly just grab them and parade them around the hospital lobby. That's how that works, right?
That's how that works. Yes. Exactly.
Yep, sure. Kimberly Sested makes a joke about 3 is a magic number. Trilogies make people happy, which is very meta, and we're here for it. Stefan asks Susie in this moment, hey, let's just get married tonight. Let's go to the hospital chapel and get married. Who needs all this wedding planning? Might as well. Forget that my brother had a major life event, and I'm going to overshadow it with getting married tonight. She says yes. They're excited, but she doesn't have her dress. Bob's like, I'll go home and get the dress. I'll bring it back. Taylor happens to see this string musician trio also being seen in the hospital for various ailments.
Just happens to be there.
There's 3 of them, though, and they're wearing suits. And he's like, wink, wink, I can get their suits. And they can wear hospital gowns, as we'll see later in a big roll footage. So the guys have something to wear. And they all make their way to the hospital chapel where people are presumably usually praying and begging for the Lord's mercy and forgiveness and healing. No, the Brenners cleared it out for a major event.
Move.
Thought it was a choice. I just thought it was a choice. I don't know. It seemed a little disrespectful to me. Seemed a little out of place.
Maybe they figured it is Christmas Eve. There's probably not anyone using the church chapel or the hospital chapel, so free space. I guess first come, first served.
I guess. Pastor Roy shows up to officiate. Thank God, because again, thought he was dead. So happy to see him. Luke, they're in the chapel. Luke wheels in the postpartum wife in her gown and compression socks, holding 2 babies, with her hair looking immaculate, because that's completely realistic.
Exactly where she does not want to be in that particular moment.
Let me tell you, there is no brotherly love that would have ever, ever made me be like, yes, this is a great
Mm-mm.
idea. Let's wheel them down. Let's take the babies and me and let's just go downstairs. No, sir. You've waited 6 months to pick out some napkins. You can wait another week until I get discharged. I just
Mhm.
had babies.
Yes.
I thought it was
Yeah.
rude. I thought it was
I know.
rude to new moms and
Stealing the moment.
postpartum life, stealing the moment. So
Mhm.
inconsiderate, but Luke doesn't seem bothered by it. So, or plan B, I would have been like, y'all go ahead. I'm going to sleep. Take the babies down to the chapel. I'm
I
going to catch
know.
some Z's. I've had a big day. Okay.
It's been
There's
a
been a lot
day.
going on. It's been a day.
Delivered twins. Delivered
Send my
twins.
regards. I'll get him a Bed Bath and Beyond gift card because it's back in business. Okay. And a
Exactly.
20% off coupon. All right, Luke, because again we're going tit for tat with big moments. He's gonna give his wife a big old anniversary ring, and there's 5 diamonds, one for each member of their family for eternity. All right. Taylor asks his girlfriend to move to San Francisco with him, but he gets on one knee. You think he's gonna propose, and she looks terrified now. He's just like, "Will you move with me?" What is happening? Why? Why are we doing all these major things in the hospital chapel? I don't know. The patients who they took the tuxes from are playing strings in the background, and Stefan gets married, and it's super cute. And then I told my husband, because he was watching this with me, I said, "Is Kimberly Sested in the background holding a baby?" She was. She's like, she's got one of the babies
She's
in the
on her break.
background. We see other various members of the hospital staff. Mark Leclerc. Then we see somebody dressed up like Santa, and they put the Merry Mech at the back of the chapel, like so you would see it as you're exiting. And he says, or my Mighty Mech, whatever the toy is called. He says, "Merry Christmas, nerds," and end scene in movie.
It's time for Golden Coal.
All right, time for our Gold or Coal segment. We're going to let you know if we think this one is worth the watch. So each of us is going to bring 3 gifts to the pod. If there's more gold in the total, we're going to call it the best Christmas ever. If there's more coal, Christmas is canceled. And if it's a tie, 3-3, we're just going to call it a meh Christmas. Jennifer, I'm coming to you first.
I will give my first gift as a piece of coal. Oh, no, I'm sorry, gold. Gold. It's gold for Margaret Cullen, who plays Barbara, their mom, the Brenner brother matriarch. She has always been great in these movies, but she really was a standout in this one. I mean, the way that she is so believable as their mom, like that she loves them and she cares for them deeply. She will fight for them against people like Bob, but also she'll be really ticked if she has to go bail you out of jail and she's going to put you in your place. I loved it. I don't know what happened to your Christmas decorations, so prayers up for that, but I'm going to give her gold.
I will start with some gold. I loved the Mark Leclerc of it all in this. I just thought that they used that character really well. And my favorite part of that was that little wink and a nod at the end where he dropped off that toy because he saw that at the end of the day, he really was a good guy and wanted to make Christmas better for them. And so I just thought that was a nice little bow on his character development over this entire series. Gold.
I loved that. I mean, I think I went, "It's Mark Leclerc!" Like, I audibly squealed when it was revealed it was him, because I thought it was just gonna be Santa, but it was one of Santa's helpers, Mark
Yeah.
Leclerc. I love that. I am gonna give some coal. I do feel like this movie was a little disjointed at times. I think we were trying to do a little too much with some of these tendrils of stories. Like, I didn't really need the Luke forgot his wife's anniversary, or him and his wife's anniversary bit. Like, he was already frazzled anyways, and he already didn't know what Thomas wanted for Christmas. I didn't need him to also have forgotten the anniversary. I didn't really need some of these other little side quests as much as we got, because I think it took real estate away from some other moments that I find so special about these movies. So, and it felt, and I felt it when I was saying it. And yes, I'm spazzy, but like when I was going through the rundown, it just jumps around a lot. And I get it. We're trying to tie up a lot of loose ends, but I think it could have been cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they were trying to give everybody sort of a series ending plot
I
point
know.
development,
know.
and I get it. They're trying to do a lot here. Similarly, I'm going to give some coal. There were just a couple of gaps here that I wish would have been a little bit more handled better. we did not get the Brenner brother dance anywhere. Like, that's the thing, where they always dance together, right? I'm not
Mhm.
crazy here,
I
right?
think
We
it's
didn't get it.
no, you're not. We didn't get it. I feel like I saw a screenshot or some picture on one of their Instagrams of, like, behind the scenes, and it looked like they were doing well, I don't remember how they start, but they had, like, this pose. So
Yeah,
I'm wondering if it's gonna be in the extended cut.
maybe. And I hope
But
it
yeah,
is
why isn't it
because
in the
that's part
main
of it.
movie? Why wouldn't you do,
Why
like,
isn't it a main
an
movie?
abbreviated version? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's that. And then the other thing that really sort of bothered me, this house was very central to their family and so many of these moments and so much of the series. Why didn't one of these boys just buy the house? Like, that would have been, I think, the way to put the bow on that. Like, they should have swooped in because we never really got the whole period on that, question
Mm-mm.
mark, I guess I should say. It made more sense to me to have one of them buy the house. It wasn't going to be
Oh, that would've been
Taylor because he
so
was going to move
good.
out of town, but maybe it could have been Stefan who bought the house or something like that, just though it would stay in the family. Because we got this whole thing of like,
Right.
oh, he's going to have a better bedroom at grandma's new house. Well, why not just buy this? I don't know. I would have loved to
I
have seen
know.
that.
That's a good
So,
point, and especially because Stefan and, Sophie, his fiancée, their house is, like, underwater right now. That would've been the perfect reason, "Hey, the damages are beyond repair, insurance won't cover it, whatever, whatever. It's better to move."
yep.
That could have been
Yeah.
really good. Or she realizes at the end her family is so full, and even if they're not all living under one roof, she still loves having them all there for the holidays or whatever and keeps the house. Yeah, I don't know.
Something. Yeah.
Maybe Roy wants to move. Maybe Roy wants to
Could
take to the
be.
coast or something, and she's like, Yeah, we didn't really get the emotional payoff for considering the house was put on the market, they were oddly okay with it, and yeah, they mentioned it, but it wasn't as emotional as I would have thought it would have been.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Like, did you cry in
Yeah.
this movie?
No, I did not. Mm-mm.
Dry as dust. My last gift is gold simply because, listen, they can make a million of these movies. I'm gonna watch them all and I'm gonna have a good time because of who's involved and from the writing standpoint, the acting standpoint, the whole team. This is not my favorite of the three. I think when you do sequels like this in a series, there is a bit of diminishing returns because some of it is kind of you've seen it before and whatever. Um, but this isn't bad. The least favorite Brenner brother movie is still better to me than a lot of other movies we watch, so
So
I
well
gotta give it
said.
gold for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to give gold as well. I thought at the end of the day, I was being nitpicky about those other couple little plot points, but this was a really satisfying end to this series. I thought everyone kind of got their moment and the family got their moment, I think. And I think that really just pays homage to this whole series and I think was a good fitting finish. So, bottom line, Jennifer, we had 4 pieces of gold, 2 pieces of coal. We're going to call it the best Christmas ever. Like you, not my favorite one in this series, but still a good one all the way around. Plenty of heart, plenty of good Christmas feels, and I think certainly a good watch.
Yeah, and plenty of laughs too. So
Hmm.
if you have friends or family who think all these Hallmark movies are all the same and they're really sad and boring or whatever, this series is a great intro to them because it's funny, it's lighthearted, it does still have heart and product placements, but I think this is an easy on ramp to anybody who you're trying to bring to the dark side of the made for TV Christmas movie world. Come join
Agreed.
us, won't you?
Agreed.
Speaking of
Exactly.
joining us, that's another episode of Do You Watch What I Watch? And if you like this episode, hey, if you want to bop the like button and make sure you're subscribed so you continue to get notifications about new content or subscribe on your podcast platform, you don't want to miss any of these other movies we have to talk about because we've got a long way to go this season. We talked about a bunch already.
We do.
We got more to come, don't we, Josh?
Yes, we do. Special thanks to Nick Schwartz for our theme song, of course, to you for taking the time to listen or watch. And next time, we're going to be chatting about another brand new Hallmark Channel Christmas movie with another set of 3 siblings. Sibling week here on the podcast. Funny how it works out that way. Here is the plot summary. 3 reluctant adult siblings join their parents on a European Christmas river cruise, each dealing with personal issues only to find unexpected joy, romance, and family bonds along the journey. This one is called A Keller Family Christmas. We're going to have much to discuss about it, but until we see you next time.
May your days be merry and bright. Bye, y'all.